Join us right now. We know exactly that Laura Ingraham is joining us from our nation's capital. Good morning to you, Laura.
Good morning, you guys, and it's great to see all three of you in the saddle today, right before Christmas. That's dedication. We love it.
And you
love being here.
Well, I'm not on radio today, but I had to. In my last TV appearance, I can't think of any better place to be.
Thank you very much.
You guys do such a great job, and we're all very grateful for you every single day of the week.
And you've got a special surprise for us at the end.
Yes, at the very end.
I'm sure you saw yesterday, Mayor de Blasio came out. I'm sure you were hoping, as many were, that he would admit to contributing to the atmosphere that led to what happened, unfortunately, on Saturday. But instead, he got angry. And he didn't get angry at the protesters who said, what do we want? We want dead cops. And he didn't get angry at the people who attacked his police officers last week. But instead, he got angry at the news media for showing some of the video where, you know, what do we want? Dead cops and stuff like that. Listen to this, and then we want your reaction.
The vast majority of our citizens are good and decent people who do not say negative things, racist things, nasty things to police, threatening things to police. The few who want conflict attempt that. And unfortunately, so many times you guys enable that. I don't see reports on the many decent, good people. I don't see reports on the everyday cops who do the exemplary thing and hold a line and show restraint and discipline no matter what invective is hurled at them. It's immoral, it's wrong, it's nasty, it's negative. They should not do that.
He's a victim of the press.
Yeah, well, this is so typical, though, right? When you have a situation like this where there's this horrific killing right before Christmas, these two amazing police officers, the mayor had stoked the tension between police and especially the minority community over the last several weeks. There had not been this call for calm and this attitude that, oh, they're a good police. I must have missed all of those press conferences where he held up the police as civil servants. Frankly, they don't get paid very much. They work long hours, and they have to be subjected to invective, name-calling, and obviously the threat of violence. And so now it's very convenient for the mayor to say, oh, you news media wagging his finger. I mean, you could say the news media, I would say in Ferguson, to some extent, they highlighted Ferguson day in and day out, which might have actually led to some of the mugging for the camera and the turning over the cars for the cameras. I would have criticized some of the media overwrought coverage for that. But in this case, we have two police officers who were executed assassination style while they're just sitting in their car. And we have the guy's trail being established on the internet now, and we're not supposed to cover this? But you got to be kidding me.
Laura, you've seen a lot of politicians before at every level, but this is a powerful position as mayor of New York.
Sure.
I've never seen somebody less equipped to handle a position like this, who was so ignorant of the power of his words. He is ad-libbing one of the most important speeches of his life, reflecting back on what his son's gone through, and it laid the groundwork for all this.
Yeah. Yeah, well, of course, his comments that, well, I had to have a conversation with my son about the police. I mean, maybe he did, maybe he didn't. I don't know. But the implicit in his comments throughout this entire, saga with the protests and with Eric Garner was this idea that somehow this was racially based, that there was a racial animus involving the Garner quote show called, when the wife of Eric Garner said she didn't see any racial element at all in this. And he never acknowledged that.
And how great was the daughter yesterday, showing up at the Ramos's home to add to the memorial.
And then you have Officer Lou's wife speaking. I mean, the leadership is coming from those that are experiencing the most pain, right? And what I thought was interesting, Laura, is you're courageous enough to get out there on Twitter and remind everyone that in 2009, the Tea Party was getting bannered with violence for their protests in the mainstream media, correct?
Oh, right. There was all these stories and there was coverage on MSNBC about some guy brought a gun to a Tea Party rally, and this is heightening all this tension. Remember Sarah Palin's video or graphic on her website they claim led to the Gabby Gifford shooting. There were all sorts of media stories about violence that never really happened at Tea Party rallies. Of course, they weren't turning over cars, lighting them on fire. They weren't looting stores. But they might as well have been, right? Because it was all, oh, well, this is very dangerous rhetoric. rhetoric. We've got words matter, President Obama said. You know, all of that coverage. I went back and dug some of that up, and I tweeted it out earlier this morning before I came on, because I think we have to look at how the press and all of us discuss this, and how just a few years ago they were claiming good, law-abiding Americans were engaging in this type of violent, protest, which wasn't happening at all.
Not at all. Now, Laura, before you leave, you have a special surprise for us.
Yes, well, you know, they're not in school now, so my daughter Maria and her friend Olivia were here, and they're big Fox fans. I can't lift her anywhere.
How big she's gotten. That's great.
And Happy New Year.
This is Maria, and this is Olivia, and they're two wonderful girls, and they both love Fox News. And what do they want to say?
Oh, we love you.
Happy New Year.
Anyway, we love you guys, and everybody watching Fox, thank you so much for supporting this network and supporting Fox and Friends. These three individuals on the air right now are great people, not just great broadcasters. We love you guys.
And you are a great friend.
You are as well, Laura. We're thankful for you.
Bye.
And for the fun and cheer this morning. Great work, girls.
All right, girls, she's taking you out for breakfast now. Congratulations.
She's taking to the green room, getting a Danish that's pretty hard.
All right.
Extra syrup.